station, bringing all the real classic hip-hop and R&B. You want to know who the best is? It's Blazing 98.5. What? Your new station, bringing all the real classic hip-hop and R&B.
Yeah. And that's a known fact.
We gon' rock it till the wheels fall off. Hold up.
We're live from the studios in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Like every day.
It's now time to get this party started.
Come on now.
Check it out, party people. It's the Garvani Gold.
Sunny cheek by.
It's Champ Low. Right here, locked down on the Manny and DrChurch show.
Come on now.
Where we talking to?
The Manny and DrChurch show.
No.
Yo. This Lil Y.
Sunny Super Geeky Suede, hailing all the way from Black Hollywood. We got it locked right here on Blazing 98.5 FM. Keep it locked.
The Get Down Brothers.
Yeah.
Yo,
Good morning.
Saturday the 14th.
Welcome to the Manny and DrChurch show.
You got a pretty booming voice this morning, Dr. Church.
Way too loud. I'm pulling me down, that's for sure. Woo, pull you up, pull me
Isn't
down.
that life, man? Just always pulling you down?
Ah. Man, you know how real it gets?
Yeah.
I cried in the car.
Sometimes you just got to stay motivated,
I'll
even when
admit
you
to
don't want to be, you know?
I'm so sad.
Always forward.
Always forward. Thank you, Manny. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Chinese farmer.
I appreciate that. Yes. I cried like a little young individual in the car that
Builds
had
character.
Had his toy taken away.
Well, I mean, you did. What was it? A Lamborghini just got repossessed from you?
They took it. I had it outside. I hadn't paid the payment.
Well,
And I thought I paid the payment. This guy came by and he was like, I accept cash checks.
Right, yeah.
He said that he collected the payments for the auto dealership.
Right.
So they knocked at the doors and it was like a thing. They said that they were going around collecting everybody's car payment down the street.
right.
So I was
You
like,
thought you were good.
yeah, I was like, I know, because I was a couple days late. That's why I did it, because I didn't get the chance to send it out. I'm always on time. So when they knocked, I was like, yeah, no, I got you. So I
Yeah, I
gave them
can
the
do that.
cash. And then...
I don't know. It just kind of happened, huh?
Yeah.
But it had nothing to do with the fact that you were actually parking your car at an old folks' home instead of your own house.
Listen, that's because the cars are blocked. They block my
Right. No, I
driveway,
get it.
so
Yeah,
I
get
need
it.
a place
yeah,
to park.
you needed a place to park.
I jumped
yeah.
the fence.
So,
It's a
well,
thing.
you know, Lambos, they're a dime a dozen.
They are.
Colorado
I had the cheap
Springs.
one. Don't worry, I had the cheap
He
one.
had the cheap one.
The Gallardo. The doors don't go up. They just went out.
This is the Manny and Dr. Church show. It's Saturday.
Darkness.
Well, we don't have to say that now because
That's
it's
true.
Sunday.
That's
Sunday
true. It's
should
on
be.
Sundays. That's true. Weekends are fun, Manny. We had fun last weekend.
I don't really have weekends. My
That's
weekends.
true. Manny
are-
works. I'm sorry. Manny's mid-couple hours of a weekend that he had.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's
I
what
just-
Manny has. He has a few hours of a weekend.
I just kind of exist throughout it. If anything, I take Mondays off. That's the day where I go run errands and stuff like that. But
You breathe.
Mondays where I don't work.
Well, you exposed me to something last Saturday that I forgot about.
Well, dude, I didn't know we were
until
going to talk
today.
about this on air.
I didn't either until it's happening right now because I have to thank you for it.
Okay.
I have to say
What
thank
happened?
you. Manny took me to heaven, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to... Ew, that's weird, isn't it? He opened we did this game, and there's a closet. No,
Wait,
that's-
no.
that
No,
did
that's
not
not
happen.
what
That's not
happened.
funny. But you took me to a flea market that we were joking about it.
Right, we were talking
We
about
were
it on
making
air.
fun of you,
My-
and you were like, you got to go.
My boy John,
Yeah.
he runs a comic book toy figure booth inside the pavilion.
You mean heaven?
Yeah.
Like heaven?
He's got the old Star
Half
Wars.
of heaven. It was a half of heaven
G.I.
because
Joes.
you took me to the other half just a moment after, if that made sense. So,
What if I told you that I learned of another heaven?
oh no.
It's a little bit more north up on Garden of the Gods. It's an indoor flea market that just kind
Wow.
of goes on and on and on and on.
It has like everything from our childhood.
Bro, everything.
That sounds painfully expensive.
And decor, if you will. I think that's one of the main things is like you'll see like a window pane, that's all fancy, made out of stained glass or something like that. That who knows how old it is.
That somebody's like, I'm gonna put some stuff together here and hustle it up. To where these small business owners,
they're hustling, man.
Shout out to where some of the people, it's your stuff from your back closet you're just trying to get rid of. Some of the stuff is people went out and sourced and collected and put together.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I mean? To where it's not just junk. It's like I went and drove to Oklahoma to source a bunch of 1972 White Snake cassette tapes.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait,
I got
what?
all 13 of them, bro.
Yeah, and then, but it's all in one place for you, and it's
absolutely.
like this isn't even possible, but it is. And then, as you said, it'll be somebody with their homemade craft. Someone made a stained glass.
Like I've said before, man, I feel like we have a secondary economy that's operating that, I like to think that the government doesn't really know about. You know what I mean? Like, I do. I watch Facebook, watch Craigslist, these people are out there, they're flipping stuff. They're, your car you think is a piece of junk. You sell it to old boy for $200. He spends 3 hours in the garage, and now he's, putting food on his table.
Right.
And now, did he necessarily give 10 cents of every dollar to Uncle Sam? No, but his family's fed, the hustle's there. They're making it work.
Right.
They're going to show up. They're going to work.
Right.
And that's what I see at the flea market.
I completely agree. A lot of little hustlers there, and then it's fun because you also see just the hustle side of everybody. Because even if it is the junk, it'll just be like, they'll come out and be like, oh, you really could use this, though. Oh,
You could,
it's
definitely.
a wishing well. And it's just like, I need I guess, okay.
Well, Christmas is coming, my aunt.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess.
You need this wish. You know what? Right next to it, I've got this Lego set from My Little Pony. Oh, my gosh. Makes the
Actually,
perfect
can
present.
I get the Playboy collection? Buy the used tire?
That's there, too. And I almost bought a filing cabinet. I wanted it really bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did. I did want it bad. I possibly might go back for it still.
If it's
$7.
$7 for a filing cabinet?
Great shape.
Yeah?
Great shape.
How big was it? Are those
Too
even
big to
now?
get home. It was too big to get home.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How big?
It was like one of those big 3-drawer jammies, like the big.
Do you have that much information to put in one of those?
Someday I will.
Someday I will.
Not yet, but someday I will. And I guess that's the problem with me going to flea markets.
Is pointless buying?
Yeah, my lady's like, what are you doing?
But it's only $7.
It makes sense. It just makes sense. And I have to thank you again because you went out. And right before we left, you made your purchase to where you held out pretty much towards the end. We were almost walking out.
And I made out like a bandit.
Oh, my God.
Spent like, what, $3 or something?
$3.
Yeah.
And you killed it.
Now I have my official VHS DVD combo player.
Oh, my gosh.
So now I got the best of both worlds.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You got a cassette recorder.
You're gonna have to, explain this to callers because
It's
some
really
of these
hard.
people
All right.
might not understand what this
So
is.
back in the day, probably in like 91 or 88, 88 to 91.
When
I
you
would say.
weren't pirating music off of the radio,
Well,
allegedly.
I would like to say I didn't, but honestly, I'd press record with the cassette tape. That's one of my mixtapes that's in
Yeah?
the cassette player now. Is literally Rick D's and the
It
Weekly
worked?
Top 40.
You took it home to test it.
Oh, I did, Manny. It's real, and it's.
Well,
It's
I don't
here
know.
for real. That's real.
Is that it right there?
Oh, that's real. So to describe it,
It
it's
looks like an old VCR.
yeah.
Or a VCR tape rewinder.
It's a small square. I'd say it's about 12 inches up and about 6 inches across here.
Ew.
Oh wait, let me put that. I wasn't describing that. I'm sorry. Let me put that away.
It reminds me of those old things that they would
Sorry, no.
they put on the table when they were going to interrogate somebody in them old detective movies.
All right, we're gonna talk. Hold on, let me flip the tape here.
Yeah, just go ahead and hit the record button.
You want to repeat that? You killed how many people? Hold on.
Flip the tape.
Hold on, flip this tape here. Hold on a second. Just Dahmer, your name is right. Hold on. There we go. It's in the tape there, and Rick D's in the Weekly Top 40.
You
Let's
wild
see.
man. What are you doing with that thing?
That's the sound quality.
Are you serious? That's horrible.
Woo! Pure quality, y'all.
Well, maybe that's why we moved on.
That's probably why it was $1. Sold by Sears.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We moved on from the tech.
Yeah.
You know, maybe.
I don't know, though, because everyone seems to hold on to the past, and we seem to not be able to grow up as adults these days. It's
I don't
like a thing.
No, not these days. I think it's been a thing for a while.
Now,
As soon as you have the expendable income, you
parents were meaner.
repurchase your youth.
Parents were meaner. Back in the day at 18, you had a house. You were beaten by your parents at like 13, kicked out. Go get a job.
Get a job.
It's the 70s. Go get a job. You're 14 already. Shut up. By 18, you had a house and like 4 kids.
Right.
By like 23, you were probably divorced and having a hot plate. And
Good times.
And then now it's slowly that, like, at 25, you're allowed to be on your parents' insurance and stay in their home.
Ugh.
You got the boomerang kid thing where they don't move out till like 30s because, honestly, again, parents have gotten a lot cooler over time, it seems.
But
you
then
know,
again,
it's hard to move out
Look on
if
the
they're
other
chill.
side of that. Look on the other side of that. Go to the, the older people. I mean, seniors having roommates is a thing.
That is real.
Okay, the necessity for seniors, older individuals that have, passed their prime, if you will, they need roommates. Financially, they can't afford it in this world that we live in because, one, they don't want to live in a home, so what they do is they buddy up, hopefully with some, and they make life work.
And it's hard to live in the country if you're older, is the truth about it in regards to just access to stuff and so on.
Absolutely.
Gets pricey, I would think, to where definitely the roommate and the full circle of life comes back around. But I guess if you're letting your kids live with you till they're 30, pay for me when I'm in the old folks' home. I'll let you stay here till 30. You're going to take care of me.
You're going to take care of me when I'm 70 and I can't.
Yeah,
I can't reach right.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to clean myself.
Go live on your own for about 40 years, and then I'm coming back. I'll be in my 70s, and, you'll be sitting there.
Can we
like,
just
wait.
put him in like a dog run? Is that allowed? No? Okay, maybe not.
No. It's
Colorado Springs, this is the Manny and DrChurch show. We're going to get into some music.
it's from the bong.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, now you're making me excited because that's my thing,
It's
I
from the
smoke the bong.
bong. You do hit the bong. You got a great bong, as a matter of fact.
DBK, shout out DBK Glass.
Oh my gosh, to where Manny.
Quality glass.
I'm going to go into music, but hold on.
Yeah.
Manny and his bong. This is something that. So when I moved here, I very much was little Mr. One Hitter. I loved my little one.
Yeah,
metal.
your aluminum bat.
Yeah, very sad. But I just couldn't let go. I still can't let go. Still have it. Still
I know.
care. Still use
I know.
it.
I see it.
But then I have like a little glass bowl. You know what I
Right.
mean? Manny, and I carry that little glass bowl in a nice little carrying case. Manny carries his bong everywhere. Like I carry my little one hitter. Like everywhere. And then he treats my one hitter. He treats his bong the way I treat my one hitter, which is just like, wait a minute, what? To where he literally just can. The guy can. I mean, you're choo-choo trained, Manny.
I clear bongs.
You're
if
damn
you
choo-choo
will.
trained,
Right.
like straight up. Like you're. It's.
Well, here's the
Woo!
math behind that.
Teach me.
Okay.
Teach me the ways, Nintendo Jesus, please.
After I got out of the military, I was choking down 13 pills a day. Now
Tasty.
Now I don't.
Would you chew them all at the same time and like turn around, look at your wife, and just be like, "Look, it's tasty!
Yum, chalky.
It's so tasty!" And then they'd be like, "Manny,
Nah.
you swallow the pills." No, I like how they taste.
And then the frothy just
They're
it-
bioavailable.
No, I'm not a fan of the pills.
13 pills.
Yeah. Dude, man, I know
So
people
you
that
tried
are
them
double
though.
that.
You tried some of them.
The pills?
Yeah, you
Oh,
tried.
I've been on a lot.
You went for it.
Yeah, 7 years active duty. Yeah, it's called Ranger candy.
That's tasty. Ranger candy.
Like, I'll eat that. I'll be all right.
No big deal. And you do chew them probably because you're so manly. All right, that makes sense now.
You just
All
gotta
right.
do what you gotta do.
So Ranger candy. Okay. And then basically you discovered the bong.
I substituted all of the pharmaceuticals for this new pharmaceutical, if you will, a little bit greener.
If you don't mind, do you remember the first time possibly that you started? Or like,
Oh yeah, the first time I smoked after I got out of the military and I made that choice and stuff, my boys came by and they're like, "We're gonna light you up." I'm like, all right,
Hey, I'm out.
let's do this.
I'm free.
Yeah, I'm gonna smoke.
I'm free.
And I think there was like 4 or 5 pieces, like a pipe here and a pipe there, a bong, maybe a joint and something.
Oh,
like
they
that.
did it right?
And there was a big circle. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Lord.
And I don't think they brought over like a pound or nothing like that, but it was like an ounce or two. And so
we get you high, Manny.
Yeah, so we basically, I don't even know what the names were, because there's too many damn names nowadays.
We've got weed, more weed, and more weed.
We got green weed. All right.
Phenotype 7 weed.
So
yes.
Basically, here's the truth about it, and I ain't got that good of a memory regardless. But I don't remember how many passes we went.
Oh, Lord.
And then I took a 5-hour nap.
Ah.
I woke up. I asked the wife, I'm like, where'd everybody go? They're like, man, as soon as you took a nap, they were like, yeah, all right, we did our work. We're done. And they were deuced.
We did the right thing.
Yep.
He's drooling and lost. Let's draw on his face and get the heck out of here before he figures it out.
Took a 5-hour nap, man.
Wow.
And then from there, I was like, it helps me sleep.
Right.
No doubt.
You're like, this makes sense.
Yeah. And it combats a lot of stuff, depression, anxieties, but it can also contribute to stuff as well. You know what I mean? So I've had to learn how to, because there's no rules on this stuff right now. The doctor's recommendations of, one joint a day will keep, No, there ain't none of that.
Weed.
Like, go ahead and just smoke it and see what happens, bro.
Right.
And I'm like, cool. So I've been up and down since I got out in 2011, and so what I want to be able to do is figure out what's right for me. And I've had some points where I've smoked myself out and I'm like, nope, that's too much.
Got too excited.
You know what I mean? But then I've also learned that a regular edible don't work for me.
See, that's what's interesting the way you're saying that, is that like the doctors, when you go to them, hey doc, I hurt here, instead of like, so we have the testing and we have the, hey, this is 22 milligrams and 200 milligrams. Oh,
right.
Yeah. And
this will do that and this will do that.
But
right.
It's not prescribed in such a fashion, which is very interesting to me, to where, doctors and average pharmaceuticals will go, hey, this is a perk, we're going to give you this much of a milligram pill and so
right,
on, and,
right.
and then you're given that. But
there
this is like weed, which is very interesting.
The topic that I could address that some people, I don't know if it's taboo to talk about, but the fact that some of these doctors here in town, like, imagine we're not talking about weed right now. Okay?
No.
We're going to talk about Percocet and Vicodin.
Sure.
Okay. And now I've had back surgery and I need to go renew my license to go get these Percocets and Vicodin.
Right.
To where I can even just be authorized to purchase them. Right. And so what I end up doing is I go and see this doc who's going to write me this prescriptions to allow me to get these Percocets and Vicodin.
Sure.
And I have to pay X amount of dollars because, well, he's a doctor and he needs to get paid. And, my insurance right now isn't going to cover it. So I have to pay cash.
Right.
So I go and I talk to this doctor and he says, okay, well, I see your injuries. This is great. Well, how much money you got? Well, I have the normal fee for this.
Right.
We're going to talk to the... Well, if you give me $200 more, I can give you 500 more pills.
This sounds like Florida, 1996. I feel.
Now, unfortunately, this is going on with doctors with cannabis.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
that makes sense. Right.
I don't know who's regulating. I don't know who's, I'm just a guy that's experienced it. And now I've also learned that pretty much all you got to be is 30 years old and an ID.
Well, I think it's the idea, maybe this is the reason that makes sense. Because, again, I'm not knocking why this is going down or how. It's just the idea of pointing it out. But I guess pharmaceuticals we allow in the lab. So we put it on
Absolutely.
We put them on a rat or a mouse and we go, hey, we'll give you this much. Oops,
too much. LD50.
I got a little excited there, you know what I mean? So maybe the idea that we just don't even know what it would do for somebody on their arm or their leg spasm or their back or their whatever.
So you're saying that
better.
maybe we're still doing research.
Right, it might be the idea that that's how it has to be done, and the idea of like, listen, rather be able to give it to you than not be able to give it to you. So weed prescription, as the idea and concept is maybe that's why. Maybe a later date at some day as the extraction process gets deeper and the crack version of cannabis comes, because I've been talking about that for years and it's here.
Right.
I was like, someday we're gonna have a crack rock version of cannabis, and sure enough,
well, yeah, pretty much do.
I see hashtag tink tink all the time, and apothecary's got those minor the minor diamonds and so on or whatever, and it's all about the crystal, and I'm like, yeah, I remember crystal being bad back in the day, though.
I mean, unless you're a girl named Crystal,
right,
like, and pretty and nice, like outside of that,
name's Crystal. What's your name tonight, big boy?
Addiction.
Hey. I always used to go with whatever you wanted to be, girl, and then it was, well, allegedly I would go with that.
Oh,
if I ever
We lied to him. We said we were going to get into music.
We did, and I got excited. So I just wanted to know about your bong. I'm so sorry.
Right.
Let's go to hits from the bong because that's a nice topic and a nice.
Colorado Springs,
thing
keep
to
it
do.
locked. It's the Manny and DrChurch show. Blazing 98.5.
Blazing 98.5. Don't you know? The official home for real classic hip hop. Blazing 98.5.
Good morning.
Is that Velcro on your shoes?
Yeah, dude, stop.
For real?
Not right now.
That's dope.
They're new. Welcome back to the Manny and DrChurch show. Manny's calling out my fashion.
It's not bad.
There's no need for that.
I mean, they look fast. Can you run fast in them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the new.
Do shoes make you do that? Do shoes make you run fast?
If you have the toe part. So what it is that,
The what?
so it's like
The grippy toes?
Yeah, you see the middle is like broken into toe, but the
Right.
outer part is into a square. So it's kind of like the middle fingers being made by my middle toe there.
Interesting.
You see the outer two are blocked off into two
Right.
toes on each side, and then the
Right.
one middle
And then
toe
the
is
one middle
separate.
toe.
It gives you better grip,
Okay.
and it assists with back pain.
Wow.
They're special shoes.
I ain't gonna lie, those are the dumbest shoes I've ever seen.
Listen, Manny, you're just jealous, and you don't even know anything about fashion, so shush.
Colorado
I'm just saying
Springs, this is the Manny and DrChurch show.
futuristic stuff, Manny. That's all I can say. You're just jealous.
Colorado Springs, you ever ran into an old friend?
Hmm.
You ever just ran into somebody that you ain't seen in, say, like 9 years?
I've done something like that. I've had that.
Yeah.
I've had that. I've
So-
had that.
We were discussing this week about having potential topics on our show.
Ah.
So this is one of those I'm going to put in the category of Manny's moments.
All right.
And it's not my moment. These are just moments that
Moments.
I capture amongst Colorado Springs. A buddy of mine ran into an old friend of his after 9 years. I hadn't seen him, but when I say ran into him, I mean he literally crashed into him.
Oh no.
Yeah, crashed into him. No joke.
Oops.
Truck's out. Car's totaled.
It was suddenly like, you mother, father.
Wait, didn't I go to
I know your mother,
grade
father.
school with you?
Hi,
Hi, how are
hey.
you? It's been a while.
You obviously didn't learn to drive.
Unfortunately, apparently this kid, he was on his way to work. He didn't have a license. Ended up going to the hospital. Turns out he was okay. But,
You recognize them though? Like,
oh yeah, like they were on the phone talking to each other after, like it
Wow.
was, yeah, because I helped my buddy out after he got in his car accident, so we
That's
picked him up.
random.
But yeah, it was pretty wild.
It does occur though.
It does.
I have actually both instances now. I have two separate weird instances like that.
Where you ran into an old friend, like hit him with your car.
One of them was a car. Yep. Well, so it was not that. It was I was in a car with a bunch of buddies, and one of our other older buddies was in the same area at the same time randomly.
Yeah.
And he cut us off, and my buddy was pissed.
Oh, he was like, dude, I'm gonna
kill him.
I'm gonna get him.
I'm gonna kill him. We get
Road
stopped
rage
at
up
a
to
light.
9.
He starts getting out the car,
Dude, I'm gonna beat this guy.
and then it was
Wait.
oh,
Hey!
Vlad, what's up?
It's good to see you.
Literally, for real. And then everybody starts hugging, and I was like, y'all. Like,
2 seconds ago, you were gonna.
did you guys plan this?
You were gonna rip him out of the car.
And they actually didn't plan it
No.
to where I was in the back seat like, oh my God, what's about to happen? This is not good.
Not good. Not
And
good,
they
not
actually were, it was Vlad. It was our
Wow.
buddy Vlad, for real, for real. That's a true
I wonder
statement.
what-
And
that's wild. I wonder what would happen if it wasn't somebody he knew.
so we didn't crash, but we definitely had that weird, it was almost, and he was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to kill him. So I
he ran
definitely
into
had
him.
that happen.
That's
But
wild.
the other story I'd say is way better. This one's kind of fun.
Okay.
In my eyes, it felt good anyway. I had a really bad breakup a long time ago.
Colorado Springs, everybody.
so sad.
Everybody, you hear that support?
Why?
Yeah, they don't care.
Well,
Anyways,
no,
move
one,
on.
no one cares. Anyway, so I left, and when I left, I just didn't say anything. I just left, right?
Peace.
So I walked in, dude in my house is like, gotta go, weird.
Enjoy my laundry.
Yeah, so I left, and then years later, I just got a fresh haircut.
Looking clean.
Just gotten a new car.
Okay.
And I randomly had driven back to my old neighborhood.
Okay.
And so I went.
Randomly?
Randomly.
okay.
I wasn't
All right.
stalking anybody. I was just up there.
I wasn't talking.
And then I wasn't stalking nobody. I was just in the neighborhood. And then I backed into my space. And as I'm backing in, because my car was that hot, I was like, I'm back in. I'm that guy. So I'm backing in. And as I'm backing in, I look over. And as I look over, she looks up and looks over. And there's my ex sitting there, and she's like playing with her phone.
Yeah,
and did one of the
yeah.
whole, you're looking down and you just look up to see who's pulling in.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
There's me, and it was that weird, like, well, we can't act like I didn't see you, and
Right.
you can't act like you didn't see
me. Right, yeah.
I haven't talked to you in years, and it was that awkward moment of like, I got the voicemails of like, why don't you just pick up the phone?
I'm really sorry.
Why? Why don't you just talk? Let's just talk.
I
And
fell
was
on
just
top
like,
of him.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm busy. But it was really crazy to where that.
Sometimes the best revenge is success.
Well, that live well, it's the greatest revenge.
Live well.
Is something that's definitely. I read that, and it was that moment where I watched it happen, and it was like,
So you're sitting there in your nice flashy car.
Flashy car.
Nice looking clean. And then she, I'm assuming, is just kind of still stagnant where
She was
life
in the
was.
Jetta. She was in the Jetta. You
Yeah.
know, the Jetta we had years ago.
Years ago.
Still had the same Jetta.
Playing her phone, probably same.
Same flip phone.
Same.
You know, had that little new, almost smartphone version. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to drop them. Sometimes you got to move on.
We did the dinner thing. We did the
What?
weird moment of like, well, we
No.
saw each other. She was like, I was gonna get
That's a
food.
thing. That's a thing.
Yeah. And the weird thing is I totally let her pay. She's like, I'll pay. Let me take you to eat. I have to. And she took me to Subway. It's nothing crazy.
Oh my God. So,
$5 foot long, you know. And
Well-
I let her pay. That was the funniest part about it was I was like, I can definitely afford this. But it was that weird, like, she was like, no, I'm going to get this.
No,
Miss
dude,
Independent.
no.
Yeah. That's a real story for real.
She's
for real. Swear
justifying.
on my daughter,
She's
for real.
justifying the cheating. And
I'ma buy you
sleeping
a-
with some dude. I'm gonna get you. Yeah, she already got it.
It's like, you already got that $5 foot dog, devil woman. Damn, just
Oh, you cheater.
yeah. So I definitely had that weird like run into people from a long time ago, and it's
Hey, at
weird
least you got a sandwich out of it.
that I got a $5 foot long. It was
That's
good, and the chicken. I got the chicken one too. She
They're
didn't
not.
cheap out
They're
the
not
grilled
$5
chicken
no
one.
more.
No, that's how long ago this was. It
Yeah,
was.
prices always go up.
That's the sound of the world. The cost of living.
The cost of living is going up.
Yo, I wish that was a joke. I was listening to a radio show this morning, and they were talking about. It wasn't ours,
I
unfortunately.
was gonna say you cheating on our show.
Yeah, no.
You listening to other radio shows?
I'm a talk
Other
radio
talk shows?
fiend.
Come on, man.
I'm a talk radio fiend, if you will. And I was listening to a show, and they're interviewing a girl who's going dumpster diving. And I had seen documentaries about this, and people, you
well,
know.
I mean, homelessness has been around. So
a real
why?
thing.
Okay, what made this woman so significant?
So it was just very interesting the way. The whole thing was crazy.
Okay,
I mean,
was she like a showgirl? You know, one time was she was she a pilot?
no,
I mean,
she was like a.
what did she? How did she end up getting this spotlight?
I don't know
if you
that I
will?
want to go all the way down this, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Just
So she's
talk radio.
Wendy,
We're
the
talking.
slow adult on the Stern Show, and
She was a what?
they call her the slow adult because they're politically correct now.
Okay.
They're not allowed to say Wendy the retard. That's what they used to
That's
call
what
her.
they used to call her
Let's
on the Howard Stern show.
Right, they used to
Okay.
call her Wendy the
Right.
retard, and then now they're like politically correct. Now we can't say that
okay.
word.
Right.
And we call her Wendy the slow adult. And so they
That's
were.
adorable.
It was nice. And
Anyways.
it's Gary the Conqueror is the other one as well instead of Gary the retard.
Really?
Yeah.
So everybody's
Politically correct now.
right.
Thank you,
Okay.
Marcy Turk. But
That's good.
Google that. Anyway, but she was dumpster diving, and the cost of living is basically what I'm getting at. Is that the idea, like, it's to the point that she can afford the rent, she's saying. You know what I mean? And the family can afford the rent,
Okay.
but they need the food. And so they're like, where'd you learn how to do this? And they're joking
So
around.
she's dumpster diving for food.
Yeah. And they were joking around with it like, haha, funny.
You put me on the search for documentaries. There's actually, just look it up, people.
Yeah.
There's these people forage through dumps and garbage for food, leftover scrap.
Yeah.
And then they boil it down into stews and soups and feeds like a whole nother community and culture or something like that. Dude, it was wild.
I've seen one such as this a few years ago.
But I don't want to derail
it
too
was-
far. But
and-
you put me on the documentary thing, and
But
I
you're
found
going
that.
in, you're going to fall into a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
She said that, she's dumpster diving
For
because
food.
she's hungry.
Yeah.
Concept being, they were like, well, where'd you learn this? No, you're mentally slow. Maybe that's why. And she's like,
no.
where'd you learn this? She's like, my brother. They're like, oh,
What?
her brother's not retarded. That's not good.
Okay.
Oh, they're actually hungry. And they were like joking, and I sat there like listening to it going, oh, this isn't funny.
Wow.
This
it was
is
real.
This is actually real, where they're
Life.
not getting it. Like, they're not understanding, like, there's real people that go into dumpsters because they need to eat, because some of them have houses, too. That's the other crazy part of it. It's not just the people.
They make enough to keep the walls around them and the roof above them, and that's about it.
It's nutty. And the documentary that I had originally seen focused on the waste of food and how much we throw away in this country.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I pointed out the lunch lady thing where,
What about
throughout all
if your vegetables aren't shaped right? They're not put out in the grocery store. Like if you get a zucchini that looks like an L,
we can't have that.
instead of just a nice.
Can't have
well,
that.
you know what a zucchini looks like.
Damn. Hey, Manny, that's not funny. We ain't talking about the college
But
days.
that's the
Those
real thing is
dark,
that
dark
food
days.
is discarded.
all the
there's
time.
waste.
And the rent is too damn high.
Yeah, and it's going up.
to where
We're about
it's-
to have more populace than Denver, and it's only going to go up.
to where I'm hearing prices are starting to creep up on the East Coast style of things, to where we have our own. We have a guy that ran for mayor of New York, and his whole platform is the rent is too damn high. That's
Okay.
literally was his whole entire political platform.
Okay.
Was the rent is too damn high.
Did he have
and-
a way of lowering it? Because I
Yeah.
don't know.
I
I like learning.
So it was. He did it in 2005 and 2009. He ran for mayor. He was Jimmy McMillan. Jimmy McMillan, and he made a music video
That
on
sounds
YouTube.
like a mayor name.
He was a hilarious dude, but very much a character. To where I'll show you a picture of him. To where
Oh,
he's like a Colonel Sanders, but an African American one with like more of like a more interesting.
kind of reminds me of the
Facial
dude
hair.
from Jumanji, the original Jumanji, like the Colonel.
Oh yeah,
Hunter.
the hunter guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the interesting hunter guy. I would agree with that. The interesting hunt. That's him.
I've seen that guy's face around.
But he went on going, just the rent is too damn high.
Right,
It's literally the rent is just too damn high, and
and
it's
that's
just-
his slogan.
The whole thing, there wasn't else really anything you needed to say more than that, because it was just so true. It's just like, man, and he made it really far, and he didn't even need to say much other than just his slogan, because it was just like whatever they'd come in. How do you feel about the children in schools and the school systems? The rent is too damn high, and it was just like anything. It was just the rent is too high, and
How do you feel about the potholes and the streets and the
the
traffic?
rent
and the,
is too damn high, Manny. It's too damn high.
how do you feel about the mental health in old folks'
Yes,
homes?
the rent is just too damn high, Manny. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And
All right.
but it pointed out where, again, now I'm watching it spread over here, and now as you watch like the people move here and the people that have the houses here, they're like, ooh, I can cash in, yes.
Oh yeah, cha-ching.
Yay, and they cash in, and then the other people move here and they're like, I just made it, but holy,
Man, it's expensive.
yeah, weird. And then every year there's like a weird increase, and the next thing weird increase, and weird.
And then we want $15 working at McDonald's because you 40 and you at the front counter.
And that just happened. And I'm watching that happen back east. It's a thing. So, and then again, be careful what you wish for, as we pointed out.
Absolutely.
The $15 an hour brought us okay, everyone's fired. We now have a machine to order from. Press the buttons on the screen. The ones that flip the burgers, y'all can stay back there because you get paid the least. The ones up front, you required knowledge and I had to pay you more. So bye.
Bye.
Sorry, I got this new computer.
Yeah, I purchased from the touch screen.
I'm sorry.
I purchased from the touch screen in the lobby.
You don't even talk to a
I
person.
didn't have to.
Don't even talk to a person.
It's pretty great.
Did you just looked up at screen, right?
Yeah.
You didn't even, did you check in? None of that, just,
I showed them
you showed them.
my card because it printed out a number. You know what I mean? I'm
Hey,
like, that's me.
that's me.
Give me my stuff.
You can do the app now where you don't even talk to, you just walk in the door, look up.
You ain't even
number
got to walk into the...
1641, you're like, me?
From my understanding, you could just stay in your car. You just pull up in a parking space, and they'll bring it out. Or Uber now will deliver it to you.
Zero interaction. So they fire everybody. Now you have no job. The rent is too damn high.
And ain't
Now
nobody
everybody's
want to talk
lost.
to nobody.
Now you're jumping into a dumpster. You're looking for food. and you're just lost going.
We love the flea market.
Exactly. And I don't know. I was hearing it, like I said this morning. It was just, it started paining me because, again, it was like they're joking and laughing. I'm like, but that's a real thing. And I have a friend that's had some hard times. And he said, yeah, no, dude, that's a thing. People do that. It's for real.
Sometimes you got to do what you have to do.
It's not right. We throw away too much food in this country to where, I mean, even down to school lunches. All you lunch ladies out there, sneak that food out. Hook them kids up, man. It's not right.
If I remember correctly, no, the lunch ladies have gotten in trouble in the past. So you're going to have to do
trouble.
your own research. But
Dude, it's to where, so the other thing is these dumpsters.
Giving away food,
and you can't do it.
Yeah.
Because of litigation issues. So what happens is in that documentary, they were pointing out that some different, it wouldn't be Safeway specific, but some different shopping centers will have to actually pour bleach on the food.
To contaminate it, so
to
people
make
won't
sure that people won't.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And so it's like legitimately good, decent food that's like, it's going bad, but not there yet.
Right. At least has a night or two left in it.
Enough to where they could give it to a homeless center and freeze it.
Right.
Freeze the meat the night that it's expiring, put it in the freezer. Right. Give it to the homeless center. But you literally just watch them dump it, and then they pour bleach on it because they're afraid that a homeless person will eat it, get sick, or a non-homeless person, an individual that has to deal with life, has gotten to that point, goes, I need food, I need meat. I've been eating ice chips and Rice Krispies that I found in the leftover box. I don't even know. But it's gotten to that point. It makes me sad because I see a lot of people legitimately working their behinds off. Man,
it goes into my theory that we're operating with a false economy. Like we've got so much debt and so much plastic and so much fake money, floating around that all we're really doing is just trading. Like we're not bartering, but we're trading. Just a bunch of stuff. Everybody's used junk like the flea market. That's why it's so big. That's why we've got, 4 of them here in town, like almost as big as football fields.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody's got their side hustle. You know, they're clocking in 9, 10, 12 hours a day. And then on the weekends, they're making wood tables and selling them on Etsy or whatever. You know what I mean? Just to keep the lights on and be able to go to Texas Roadhouse and spend $80 on. And they ain't spending $80. You're taking the family out. You're spending a lot.
Oh my gosh!
You know what I mean? So it's like
no, Manny. It's 2 for $20.
So how are you saying
without
that we
drinks
have it?
or tips or any? You get 2 for $20 is like a fake thing. I've been there. When you walk out, it's like $32 by the time you walk out. You're like, wait. I just had water. It was a water. And you're like, but it was a bottled water. I didn't know it was bottled. You put it in a cup. It's
that fancy stuff.
And
who knows who knows where our economy actually is. People ain't honest enough with each other.
And now technology's changing, as we point out with the McDonald's thing. You don't even talk to a person.
Right.
So it's like AI's coming out. It's getting creepier.
Ooh, the robot lady. You seen her? The AI?
Just saw her.
What's her name? I can't remember. Sophie.
Sophie, I think it is.
She got legs. She can walk now.
You just answered my question.
Yep.
Wow.
She is upgraded.
Oh Lord! So originally it was just a top,
upper torso. Yeah.
See, I was asking that because I just kept seeing her stand still. I'm like, she can't move.
She's basically a big brain. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's scary.
She's a robot.
That's so scary. I just got introduced this. They were like,
Sophie,
first
what did
Saudi.
They call her? Sophie something?
She's the first Saudi Arabian citizen.
That's a robot.
Which we might as well just take over those countries. Put enough into them at this point. Might as well just. Can we just own Iraq already and just call it Iraq America?
Bro, I woke up this morning and I turned my phone on and apparently we at war with Syria.
Oh, them too, yay.
No, they were putting gas on their own people or something like that.
False flags.
And then now America's launching rockets all over the place.
Yay, sell more bombs. Woo, I love that. That's fun.
I don't know. I haven't done enough research on it. Like I said, I just woke up and I found out.
No.
I don't try to chase the news too much because...
Shoot, man.
99.9% of it don't actually affect you. You know what I mean? Like, at what point does the news really affect you directly?
So
to
dead
show
on.
up and do your job.
So dead on. To where, Manny, this is something that I want. That's why I keep bringing it back. Like, why are we at war? Why are we at war?
15 years.
Because a lot of people in normal conversations aren't talking about this on a regular that are, let's say, mainstream, where you turn on your radio and you go...
Information bubbles, man. We can only hear it for so long, and then we got to pop it. We will literally turn a deaf ear, even if it's correct and knowledgeable.
But there's
we'll turn a deaf ear 'cause we're tired of hearing about it.
A massive community of people that families are torn apart because a bunch of guys in suit and ties got to sell some stuff.
Yeah,
That's how I hate to break it down that far, but honestly, again, Eisenhower, beware the military complex. You know what I mean? Like it's a business.
thing?
You know what I mean? We gotta make that money, and it's sad to me because I've not been aware of this bubble for 30 plus years. Okay, I moved here to Colorado, and I'm severely exposed to nothing but veterans and families and people that have gone through this, and not the veteran that I used to be exposed to. I used to be exposed to the older Vietnam guy, World War II guy, and that was the most I'd see. You very rarely would see the Iraq Desert Storm guy.
The modern vet.
Yeah, the Desert Storm guy you wouldn't see as often. It was rare, way more rare. Because you all obviously live over here, where it's way better and it's just free. And
we got
so
weed
on.
over here now.
You got weed, you got no helmets, you got 75 speed limit. You know what I mean? You got a lot going on that
It's
makes
called
sense,
freedom.
right? Freedom.
Yeah.
But I sit back and that this information bubble is where it's not getting out over there enough. And it's upsetting me to where I'm like, this is why I'm regular. I'm like, when we get on this air,
you want to talk
I
about
gotta
things
say
that are silly?
why,
We could do this all
why?
day. We could do this all day, man. Flint, Michigan, still ain't got clean water. Is that a thing? Okay, so like we know that we have problems in this country, but like I said, at some points, we literally justify and are okay with just turning a blind eye as a human. I mean, for some reason, I don't know. I ain't got the answers for it.
Flint
I don't
is
know
a long
why.
time. You're right.
Right, that's 4 years, bro.
Yeah, we're all just like, just
Yeah.
deal with your bottles. We don't
Good
go to,
luck.
I don't go to Michigan. It's in the middle. It's in the
But then
middle
again, I
somewhere,
mean,
right?
if you would think that
It's terrible.
there would be more of an effort to at least inform the public that there's an effort being made.
If we end the war, we could afford to do a lot of
All
things.
right, no, you're a budget number
a lot
country.
of
I
things.
get that.
I know we'd have a lot of clean water. Speaking of budget, we got to pay some bills, Manny. This
Do
show
we?
is brought to you. The Manny and DrChurch show is brought to you by Warp Zone Gaming. No,
Nope.
I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, the darkness ain't here.
Warp Zone Gaming is in the back of Speakeasy Vape Lounge, 2508 East Bijou.
And I'm gonna break in because
Do it.
High Hopes Dispensary, man, they're putting together the 420 show.
Ooh.
Check out Speakeasy's Facebook page.
It's going down.
Yeah, and also shout out Black Angus, Angus with a $sign.
Hey,
He's
got that
bringing in
meat.com.
Pastor Troy. Pastor Troy's coming the 18th. So there's going to be some good.
You got 1 ton of potluck coming in.
One
You
ton
got-
of yeah.
If you like the weed music, people know who that guy is. I've been playing a bunch of weed music this morning.
And if you like the alternative metal stuff, I think it's Lethal Injections coming through.
All right, so you like that little left, little right.
Right, so
Got it covered.
Basically, through the 420 weekend, 420 week, if you will, there's going to be plenty.
It's
Plenty
going to be
of
all around.
things to listen to.
And if you want video games, they will be in the back of status
And I've just been informed, hot off the press, everybody, Colorado
Wait.
Springs, listen.
Wait.
Damian
Announcement.
Damani of Dirty Games will also be performing.
Stop it.
True story.
The real Damian Damani?
The real Damian Damani.
Like the real one.
The real one.
He's not going to do like the MF Doom where it's
No.
like he sends someone fake
Right.
and goes, no, that's Damian Damani.
No, it's
and
going to
then
be
some
the
weird guy
real
gets up.
Damian Damani.
With Blue Dolphins track,
Yep.
the hit.
It's there. It's coming.
Dude, these tickets are what, like $4,000 a piece?
I think so.
Probably.
I think we can get him in for an interview. Actually, hey, where's our agent?
Buckwald!
Hey, can you get Damian Damani?
That would do be dangerous.
Can we just get somebody?
We got a nothing. We got a bunch of nothing. He's staring at us like, no. It's a bunch of no. It's
Because
all
you're
like-
just saying
I'm
no,
s-
trying to hit a button.
I'm staring at him like, and he's just like, no. We get a bunch of nobody.
Sir,
Guys,
janitor.
Janitor.
Or do you know?
Steven.
Have you seen?
This is
Mr.
actually
Doobie Dangerous?
our janitor. We call him our manager / producer.
Steven.
This is Steven.
Hi, Steven. How are you doing this morning?
Steven.
Steven, you
Are
do
you
the
doing
overnight.
okay?
Yeah,
You do the overnights?
I put in my 2 weeks today
You did,
No.
bro. How long you been with the company? How long you been here?
since we started.
Wow.
Like you're ending?
Well, where to next? Are you going to Europe? I mean, I saw that you were writing a letter.
Wherever it is away from here.
Really?
He doesn't want to say on air because he's afraid someone will follow.
Well, have you seen Damian Damani?
I gave him some money and he left and never came back.
Sounds familiar.
Well, come to the Speakeasy. He's supposed to be performing live.
Ooh, okay.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know what day. Was it the 20th?
The 18th.
The 18th.
Oh,
Okay.
Pastor Troy.
Pastor Troy.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have tickets.
All right. Well, Steve, your mop bucket's still over there.
Thank you, Steve.
If you can straighten up that picture before you leave, it's a little crooked.
Are you working the overnight tomorrow too, or this is like
Well,
the
he said
2
he
weeks
put
where
his
you
2
ain't
weeks.
showing up?
He's probably
He
just
mails
gonna
it
quit.
in, right?
Yeah,
Just don't
he's just
show up.
out.
You're gonna mail it
Steve
in.
didn't put it. Do I have to write it in English?
No.
Is this where you're announcing this on air and you didn't actually write it and tell everyone? I hope.
So you're putting in your 2 weeks notice over the air?
No.
Oh.
He might be actually. He might have been. He just put his. Stephen the janitor, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, is putting his 2 weeks in. We're sorry. Steve, you're gone. Thank you.
Man.
Wow.
I hope he's gonna collect this.
Anyway, so for 420, 418, that whole weekend, it's going to be nothing but fun. Come on down to Speakeasy Vape Lounge.
East Bijou.
East
2508 East Bijou.
It's a win, people. It's a win.
We're gonna be partying.
It's a win. Let's go into We Fly High. Jim Jones.
We fly high?
Yeah. I think we can.
Yeah.
Should I do that?
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't do that.
Don't.
I could do that, but it's that weird
Well,
beginning
quit
of the
teasing
hour.
Colorado Springs, man. Just give them some good. Hey, Colorado Springs, if you got some music choices that you want us to play, let us know. Get on a Facebook, hit us up on Instagram, and we'll play that music.
That's what I'm talking about, Manny. I appreciate you. We'll be back after we play some music in a little bit. I got Jim Jones coming up next.
It's blazing, Dirty Game Studios.
Is that Steve? Steve, no Steve. Steve, you've quit, remember?
Hey, Method Man, this is Donald Trump, and I'm in Palm Beach, and we're all waiting for your album. Let's get going, man. Everybody's waiting for this album.
End of.
My eczema's been flaring up. I've just been using mayo and toothpaste now. It's my newest thing.
You're not supposed
mayo
to do
and
that.
toothpaste on
You're
the
not.
eczema.
You're not.
It's bad?
No, yeah.
We're back on. We're back on.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back to the Manny and DrChurch show.
Hey-o.
Woo! Been having a good time this morning. We're just talking about that.
Man, I have no idea what we've been talking about.
We were talking about the AI lady before we left. The news.
Sophie or...
Sophie, the AI lady, and oh man,
Basically, she's just, I don't know, she's a citizen in Saudi Arabia or something like
fake
that,
ladies.
I guess now.
I mean, you told me that it came up where they had legs now, which is crazy.
Yeah. She's,
where-
she's walking.
Of course, the advancements on all of these things always seem to where, I don't know what it is, but it always goes to porn. Like every technological
Yeah,
advance,
I gotta say,
just you come out with something, you're like, porn, you're like,
it's gonna,
we're coming out with holograms, porn.
we're gonna
like,
put sex all over this.
yeah, like I don't understand what it is, but it's just like every time.
It sells.
Yeah, I guess that's the idea. To where the real doll, I'm hearing, is a doll used for weird purposes, let's say.
Weird
just-
purposes? Or?
Well, you got to keep it clean for the airwaves, okay? Just
Oh.
use your imaginations.
I don't want to use my imagination.
Don't Google it,
Don't
because
Google
Lord
it.
knows what kind of viruses you'll get on your phone and or desktop.
But what you're saying is that there's robots for pleasure now.
Well,
And that's
but
pretty...
not just that, but yeah.
What do you mean not just that? That's huge.
It's as you're saying, it's like, you just said they upgraded and she's walking like, I don't know how deep they went with the real doll. Like, ooh.
True.
It's got, like, what happens when, like, the
Are you
piston on the
worried-
arm malfunctions and, like, doesn't let go?
And just like maybe just tugs.
Ah,
I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that they've tested for...
A lot, I hope.
You know, yeah.
Can someone hack it? Like, can your neighbor be like, ooh,
And I think
them.
that's a big risk, is that can they be hacked? Me, you're asking the wrong person,
Yeah.
bro. I have no idea if they can be hacked.
It's probably going to happen. You think, like, I always think about this. Like, I have a little kid, you know, I go, when I'm older and it's time for retirement, I always, you know, you start to think, you think of different states in the
Okay.
United States, maybe even start to think global. Oh,
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
what are
go
you
to
talking
wherever.
about?
Now everyone's probably going to end up being like, I'm going to retire on Mars.
You think so? Dude, we ain't even landed there yet.
I'm just saying is with the speed of how fast technology jumps.
Okay.
50 years from now.
Yeah. Because, I mean, 30 years ago, my phone was still attached to the wall.
You know, with a cord on it.
Yeah,
to where
definitely.
we were showing earlier. We bought a cassette. Manny bought a cassette tape
Absolutely.
player.
Dude, I got a little mini boombox.
Killed it, Manny. You killed
Awesome.
it. And I had to show my daughter what this was and what it did and why.
And
like,
she's like, "What is this apparatus?"
yeah, she didn't understand.
Does it make popcorn?
Yeah.
Is this a toaster?
I probably could have played that off like that for her because she
Is
had
this a projector?
no idea what it was. She just knew she wanted to understand it enough to where she gave me the batteries out of her Lammy thing.
Okay.
One of her
Doc
toys.
McStuffins.
Yeah,
Shout out.
Hey.
I got daughters.
Manny's in that battle with me right there, wearing that helmet, going, "Ooh, I thought the
Hey.
war was over." And hey, I got
No.
home.
Hey, I
Woo.
played dolls the other day. You do what you
Shoot,
got to do.
man.
You-
That's
you're a
real.
parent.
But I had to show her how to use this thing, and I just started noticing it's like it does jump that fast. So it's even air travel. We used to have cigarettes not long ago on.
I remember the
planes.
ashtrays. I remember that. Yeah, I was flying with ashtrays.
And where I always tell everybody, if you see an ashtray in your plane, get off.
Get off. That's
Just-
an old plane.
Just don't. Just be like,
Well,
you know
no.
what?
Then
check,
you got
please.
that pilot that says, "No, man, it's seasoned." You know, when we get up to the top, when we're cruising at that altitude, she seals up. She just
Yeah.
no more whistles.
She's like a bird.
She's
smooth like a bird. Yeah, no, bro.
Get off the plane.
Yeah, you see ashtray,
Ashtray,
you
get off.
run. But it's to where I just see the advancements in technology jumping so fast, so
Absolutely.
fast, and I could see a time where my daughter's like, "Dad, I'm going to the moon. I'm moving." I'm like, "But I'm retiring. I was gonna stay. I was gonna go south. It's warm. I was gonna go south." And she's gonna be like, "Dad, you know the asteroid hit in Russia a few years ago.
It's time to
You
go.
know, the radiation's weird. You gotta come with us." And I'm gonna be like, "I really love Earth, though."
You think that's a real thing?
I could see that happening.
Not in my life.
I do.
I would
'Cause
say maybe my kids.
the reason why
I would hope so because Elon. I always
yeah.
mess up the way you say his
Elon
name.
Musk, yeah.
He's too cool not to just make it easy, right?
Sure.
Yeah, he's got to have that suave name.
Strange.
Anyway,
names.
Mr. Musk.
Yeah.
Anywho, I mean, the way that he's pushing things and how hungry society is right now, I mean, I guess he's got one of the hottest places to work at. Like, he's like the new Google. Everybody used to want to work at Google,
Right.
Yahoo.
Right.
Enron. Anyway, no.
Wait, what? That was
Old
bad.
joke,
That
old
was
joke.
Bad.
Anyways,
We're retro.
so who's to say what's going to transpire from these creations that, like I said, these kids are hunting to just create for this guy.
Right.
And so, yes, like you said, we are about to make some advancements. What did I just see? Jimbo, the little personal robot that sits on your counter,
Right.
Can video and take pictures of your house. Like, it's I don't
All
know.
for the CIA. Yay!
Yay! No, but
Shout out Alexa. No. We'll listen to you in your home all the time. That's great.
Here's the
That's
deal.
wonderful.
I mean, give up the fear of that, and you've got a lot of luxury.
True.
You know what I mean?
You get to know the weather whenever you need it. That's true.
Absolutely.
You're right.
You
You're right.
you can have a companion whenever you want.
True.
You know what I mean? These things have somewhat installed personalities.
Right.
You can make it tell you a joke, lift your mood anytime you want. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you and the darkness went, and you went in a self-driving car.
Yeah, the Tesla.
You know what I mean?
That was
I'm talking
that was
Elon.
I enjoyed that experience. Darkness, not so much.
No, she was like,
She's like, keep
"Whoa."
your damn hands on the wheel.
Whoa.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
But he did. He put it on the autopilot feature, if you will, and it grabbed the grid, the GPS, and you stayed your lane.
See, and that just happened.
Absolutely.
They didn't ask for permission. They didn't get permits. They just snappy fingers just occurred.
Sometimes you just got to do it.
Ask me 10 years ago, you think that was happening? No.
Nah.
No.
Well, 30 years ago, I would have wanted flying cars by now. And we're almost there. There is people who are claiming that they've got the cars that turn into the planes and the,
I mean, we did the story.
drivable legal license.
We did the Dubai story on the flying
the
helicopter.
motorcycles.
Yeah, the motorcycle. There you go.
Mhm.
It's a helicopter.
Hover bikes, if you will.
Yeah. So it's I say it goes.
So
that
you think
fast.
20 years, 30 years, those hover bikes, these, the rocket that can land on its own. Well, obviously it's not on its own, but we've got rockets that we can send into space and then we can land them. Like
a big
recovery.
deal.
We can recover our own rockets. Like that's
Right.
pretty amazing. Normally we're used to them just
Yep.
oh, that was expensive. Let's go recycle that.
Woo.
Now we don't have to. They're gonna go up, drop off what they need to, and come back and land, and then we get to load them back up.
And keep doing
And
it.
until obviously we're gonna have to find out when they'll actually fail. You know what I mean? How many runs they can do before we got to replace them. But even then, we're making trips now.
See, and I see that future. I do. To where the Jetsons,
Not too far off.
I guess it sounds crazy, but again, Rosie's
just around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, again, you've got the Roomba.
We've got the moving sidewalks at the airport.
You know, it's happening. You know,
Yeah.
it's slowly happening, but kind of fast happening.
I want the kitchen where you go in there and you're just like, boop,
And
here's your
everything just
cheeseburger,
goes
large
down.
fry, and a Coke. Yes.
I mean, well, so 30 years ago, 40 years ago, could you go in and get a 30-second cheeseburger?
Nah.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, well, 30-second, no.
I mean, even
You're talking like the microwavable in the bag.
all that.
AM, PM, 7-Eleven cheeseburger.
All that. I mean,
Okay.
even down to where we did our story on cheese. We did our Leprino Foods guy, the billionaire in Colorado that's responsible for all of the cheese pizzas you eat around here. As we call it back east, we call your pizza cardboard pizza. It's a true story. You guys get the Mexican good tacos and all that.
Okay.
Tex-Mex food. We got the pizza. All right, we got the real pizza. That's the
But we
real
got
of
this
that.
guy out here in Colorado that's pushing the science of cheese.
Right.
Right.
And he took the curing of cheese from 14 hours, I think it was, down to like 4. Or it was like days actually. It was days.
Days
It was like
to-
4 days to like 4 hours.
Okay.
And he made it so, if Domino's
Wow.
wanted bubbly cheese that was bigger bubbles versus Pizza Hut with smaller bubbles versus
And more stringy or something like. So he
yeah.
was able to, wow.
Yeah.
He was able to splice it up and give more variety. To
he adjusted
wow.
all of it, all
Yeah,
with his little science, if you will.
When
and
people
so
focus on a craft, I'll tell you what. When you focus on a craft, you can pretty much do anything.
you can do crazy stuff with
Yeah.
it, and the science goes pretty
Cheese
quick.
is your thing. Do great things, I guess.
Right,
Give
right.
us better cheese.
Exactly, but it shows the speed at which
Yeah.
all this happens. You know what I mean? I mean, marijuana. We love our cannabis.
Absolutely.
We were just talking. At this point, it's like we have crack rock out there, for real. We've gotten to the point where we can extract it to a rock form right now. You know what I
and
mean?
it's cannabis.
And it's
unfortunately.
cannabis.
And you heat it up with a torch.
Fortunately.
And
I say
then-
fortunate. Yeah.
Well,
Ting,
I
ting.
feel like we're
fun.
going to evolve because we don't need to stay so primitive.
Well-
okay. I'm going to say that now because in 20 years, I hope that we're still not using torches and straws to smoke cannabis because it's
Need something better.
I do. I feel like it's what's the word I'm looking for? Juvenile. You know what I mean?
Well-
I feel like we're in the infancy of us knowing how to do this, so let's evolve with it and change the way that we're going to intake it.
I would say
Not feel like a crackhead.
I agree. Delivery method, though, sometimes ends up being circumstance based. So if you are, let's say, a skier or you're a runner, you can't smoke. You just can't intake your cannabis with smoking. So you end up with they have a patch.
I'm pretty
now,
sure
you know?
there's runners that would beg to differ. No,
Well, you
okay.
can,
Yeah,
but I'm
no.
saying like they'll go for the patch method
Right.
or the
Absolutely.
edible. You know what I
Preferred.
mean?
Absolutely.
So I
Yes.
guess I could see it that it progresses, but I could always see that there's always like I don't know that the joint will ever change. You know what I mean? Even
It
though
won't
it'll be
need
like,
to. The joint doesn't need to. The bong doesn't need to. I'm saying that it's going to evolve because, like I've stated, I don't eat edibles because I don't want to eat all the candy. You know what I mean?
I find that humorous,
so in
too.
10 years, somebody please figure this out and give me a roast beef sandwich that medicates me, that doesn't taste like garbage. You know what I mean?
I find that interesting you bring that up. Is that the other day I'm sitting there and they were like, Keef Cola on sale.
Which I
fun.
enjoy them. I'm not a.
My
I don't
daughter,
oppose 'em.
you offer her soda. You know, my daughter says, Dad, that causes heart disease. So I'm like, all right. So I'm a
You're educating your child too much.
yeah, right, going way too far, right? So I mean, but you sit there and you go, okay, this is going to cure your cancer, and then there's studies like sugar causes cancer. Here, eat this chocolate bar,
Enjoy.
and then I'm like, wait a minute, what? And they're like, oh, here's
Yeah,
your-
it is. It's extremely contradictory.
I know you're sick, but drink this Keef Cola.
Yes.
You're going to be okay. The cannabis is going to help regulate your mind. Your heart, well we
we're
don't
not-
want to talk
we're not
about
worried
that
about that.
whole.
Well, that goes to we're still the test populace. You know, we're still figuring this out. And so the only way that we're going to be able to do this is if we're honest with each other, and we tell people, okay, well, if I smoke too much sativa and then I put myself into a high volume amount of populous people, I start to shake and I have anxieties and stuff. Okay, so you should tell somebody that. You should let somebody know that's what happens, so that way they can build the research on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
let it in a lab.
If we're not honest with ourselves, because that's right now, like you said, we're not in a lab.
Right. Or not enough. I mean, not enough.
Some
not
labs
enough.
are out there. Right.
It's starting.
You're right.
It's starting. Israel's got some stuff. It's starting. There's some stuff there.
But there is no lab of Colorado.
It's not enough. It's not loud enough. If it is, it's not loud enough. There's not enough clinical trials and studies, if you will, to where, again, I guess it's more the medical aspect. So if you want to just get high for fun, that's cool. I'm down. You know what I mean? And you want to drink a soda, I'm down. It feels good, the sugar and all that stuff.
Make sure you don't affect other people's lives.
Again, I just found it kind of humorous when I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, this is a medical thing, so it's like a healthy thing. But then it's like I get yelled at for all the sugar I go with, and like, man, like my department back at work where I won't say. It's basically the diabetes / sponsored by dentist department because it's just like
just full of candy. I mean, what are you guys doing?
It's
robbing everybody's Halloween candy.
Bro, I mean, it's gummy bears. It's belly jeans, as we like to call them.
Are these edibles or are these?
No,
you guys are
not medicated.
Okay, so
just straight sugar, medicated with pure sugar.
So you guys ain't okay. Well, I can respect y'all ain't getting high on the job.
No,
I appreciate that.
Pure sugar.
But literally, you guys are just munching out on candy.
Yeah, nobody said that neither. I mean, we got our smoke break. No. No, I mean, it was just something that in my mind I just found it was kind of like a funny catch-22 to where, again, I'm just pointing it out. I'm not saying that it's an issue. It's kind of like before when we were pointing out the doctor thing, and I said, well, maybe the way where you were like, you can just pay for more. You brought up earlier.
Yeah. You can get a higher plant count by just adding more funds. You
just
can't
more money.
You can't do that with Percocet.
Right. You're saying,
like, I get $30 a month. Well, if I give you $200 more, can you give me $500? You know what I mean? Like you can't do that. So how can it translate if we're supposed to be modeling off of the pharmaceutical world for this
medical,
and this is medical? Then why aren't we following the same kind of rules?
Right.
I don't know.
And that's where we were just pointing it out. No one's saying that it's a bad thing, or just pointing it out. Because, again, I'm all about consumption. I'm down.
I want people to be able to have their medicine, no joke.
I just find it interesting how it's like a funny, like, it's all just a big joke. I don't know what to say. And it's funny, the propaganda angle, the things that everyone's got to use all the time. Like, it's almost too humorous, if you will.
Propaganda is necessary because we're still ignorant. Nobody knows, so you got to push your agenda to hopefully get followers and people agree with you, and this is how it is. And now it's a belief system.
I mean, it's very powerful. It's to where we pointed out our Ed Bernays story. We went down that road. Google it, people. He's the guy who invented propaganda.
Yep.
It's the reason why you eat bacon and eggs in the morning for real. I
reiterated that to my wife the other day. She missed that show that we did, and we were obviously having bacon and eggs, and she was like, "Well, thank you, Edward Bernays."
Yes,
and I was like, "Oh, well, read his book maybe."
Look him up to where he invented propaganda, and I look at it, and the propaganda that took marijuana away with like the children, our poor kids, we've got to save them from this devil weed. The kids, save the
Reefer
children.
madness.
I've been screaming, let's flip it. Save the children. So all these sick kids with the cancer that we're saving lives with cannabis, for real. We've seen the Rick Simpson oil and all this stuff. Put it on blast. Put it out there and go, we've got to save the children.
Here we are.
And I hate to say to use it, but at the same time, just like they used it on us, it's propaganda. And a lot of parents and people that are old school
won't listen. So you're just saying that the people who have been cured aren't being loud enough?
It's not that they're not being loud enough. Maybe it's the ones that have control of the mics aren't out there speaking. Maybe loud enough, if you will. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not enough. Maybe it's out there on the social medias and maybe not enough on the main. Like I haven't turned on
the Daily Dose. The show after ours. They get in there and they get in depth and they handle stuff appropriately.
Thank God. But like I don't turn on Channel 4, the NBC or whatever channels we have here.
Yeah.
And I don't randomly see the often stories of like, oh,
right. I get what you're saying.
little Wilson kid and
he used to have seizures every day. 30 of them.
Now he doesn't.
Now he actually can say his alphabet.
Oh my gosh.
And he can hug his mom.
Right, and he's not vomiting. And
thanks, weed.
Yeah.
Oh, nobody's addressing that.
Right. It's addressed, but it doesn't seem to be loud enough, regularly enough, and Maybe.
Well, here's the deal. Because mom and dad, they probably work a 9 to 5 where a job they might get tested randomly, and they don't want the scrutiny and
keep it quiet.
They don't want the they don't want the attention, so they got to keep things quiet. They're just happy their kid is now a normal kid.
For our refugee patients out there, shout out.
You know what I mean? Like it is. Unfortunately, sometimes you can't be loud, and I would love to be able to tell people, please just go ahead, tell your neighbor. You know, that's all it takes is just let people be informed, because then when it comes to litigation and paperwork, the voices will be heard, because we'll call upon you, and everybody will be informed at that point. And when it's time to show up, everybody will show up.
Right, and propaganda works. It's been shown, obviously, to where even down to where I point to New Jersey's marijuana scene. A lot of people hated that guy Chris Christie, which I'm not a fan myself. Politics, whatever. But marijuana was a very tightly controlled thing, and it wouldn't be changed. Kids couldn't have it. And it wasn't until literally my version of propaganda, if you will, where a little child was literally put in his face. And the dad went to him and was like, yo, like broke through a whole press conference of people.
Really,
like,
just walked through a sea of people.
Literally, and pushed through, was like,
and just, here's my child.
Governor, my kid, dying.
Help me.
What are you doing? I got to leave my family and move to another state?
Just to save my kid.
That little piece of, oh my gosh,
wow.
And the camera's there and
just
so on.
woke up.
The governor had to change, and now then that made it so that kids were allowed to have that. So that little piece of propaganda, if you will, of just
putting it there.
So
right.
Jeff Sessions says no to weed. You find the 4-year-old with the cancer that's taken the RSO, or that ends up that's with the CBD and so on.
Yeah,
and put them up there and go, all right, tell this kid no, please.
Tell him
and
he don't get
to
to graduate high school with the homecoming.
In their face.
Right.
In a physical, legitimate, face-to-face moment of like, here, tell this one. Go ahead, please. Tell them they can die.
Based off of ignorance, basically.
Be nice. That's why I'm very happy that we have this show, Manny, the Manny and DrChurch show.
That's what you're listening to, Colorado Springs.
We can bring up why are we at war?
For 15 years.
For Lord knows how long. Why is the rent too damn high?
Why is the rent too damn high?
We've talked about this morning where people are in dumpsters trying to eat food.
Right.
I mean, it's all getting crazy where we're talking about technology taking jobs, where you go to McDonald's, you don't even... I ran into my man Paul from the Daily Dose at McDonald's.
Shout out.
Shout out Daily Dose. I mean...
They do it proper.
I didn't order from a person that day. I didn't speak to an individual. The screens are up. And it's like we're all, whether you want to be involved in technology or not, you're for just get to it. They don't even stand at the registers anymore. Like, I've seen people stand up front, just standing there like waiting. Is anyone coming to the register, or just... They're forcing me to that. They're really trying to force that screen. Oh,
some people don't want that $15 an hour.
It's
sorry.
Nah, man,
it's my
right.
It's my joke. I can't.
Right.
Make a joke.
But they're gonna get to a point, I think, where it's. They've talked about this before. It's gonna be like 5 rich people because they invented the AI that do all the work, and then there's gonna be the rest of us like
at the flea market.
Hey,
trading each other's junk.
Like even the military, right? We have a giant military budget.
We do.
And we have people that go out there and risk their lives for our country, for our freedom. Appreciate that.
For our brothers and sisters.
But also,
mothers and fathers.
They get a paycheck. Because we do live in a capitalistic society. So it costs money to live.
True
and
story.
so at a certain point, that's a lot of an employed population. As technology keeps coming around, why would we not send Sophie, the AI, to go blow up all the brown people in other countries?
I cruised around in a Paladin, self-propelled howitzer, 155s. Man, we blew up stuff, man. It was good times. I've learned that there's an automated version of my tool, and we had teams. Right. We had battalion.
So why would I now risk you when I could leave you in a nice warehouse somewhere in Nevada with air conditioning, and you could play a video game? And Manny,
and then just click the button.
Warp Zone Gaming is setting you up here.
Wow,
I hate to say that, but literally your government might come back.
This is not a segue.
They might come back calling you. Like, you might be sitting in your game room one day in the back of Speakeasy, and you might have a couple suits come back there going, just like Rambo.
Some
you're
kids
going to be
playing
out.
Fortnite.
You're just like Rambo.
Kids playing Fortnite.
They coming for you. They're going to be like, we need you. Your government needs you. And you're going to be off.
Nope.
Just like, nah, man, I can't do this. John Rambo, we need you. And you're like, no, I can't. We need you. The controls are just the same. And up, down, down key is the key that we installed.
I've been out too long.
I can't do this.
I've been out too long. They won't take me back.
And then Manny turns around and goes, knife. You call that a knife? And then he goes to work. No,
no, this is a knife.
No, but I could see that the population of individuals that work for our military will now be shortened, which means that tax money, that money in our economy will now be shortened because we're going to be sending little robots out there to blow people up. So at which point,
we're gonna have to move to the moon.
What the heck are all these?
We're gonna have to move to the moon. We're gonna be overpopulated because, well, we're not gonna be killing each other off.
And that's why we point to Bitcoin, people. And normally we reserve Bitcoin for Saturdays. Save your Bitcoin because you think they're going to be putting boxes of paper to ship up to the moon. No. No, people. It's going to be Bitcoin, okay? I'm sorry. I just did that was terrible. Anyway.
Well, now that you've covered what this show is all about.
Yeah, we very much have gone through a lot of interesting topics. We are getting to the end of our show, so it is time for a couple of plugs here. We plugged the Warp Zone Gaming. I got some Lab Builder supplies as well. Lab Builder supplies. They supply gloves to the trimming industry, the cannabis
glove.
The cannabis. No.
Not for the
real doll. We supply gloves to the real doll.
Wait.
No, that doesn't happen.
Are these? What kind of gloves are these?
You know, this is a terrible commercial. Let's start this commercial over. Okay.
You want to? I'm ready. Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, Cardi B. Hey everybody, this is Cardi B. I have a cold. This is Lab Builder. I'm on the air for Lab Builder Supplies. Actually, it's Cardi C, her cousin. I just said I was Cardi B. I'm lying. No, this is not DrChurch, but I'm here for Lab Builder Supplies. I just want to say when I'm on tour and do weird stuff, I bring my gloves from Lab Builder Supplies. And yeah, if you need affordable gloves, if you're trimming weed for real, and you need gloves, we've got you. If you're a dentist, we've got you. People are spending way too much money on gloves. I'm finding out they're going to Costco and spending a lot of money. I've got all different colored gloves. They've got all different sizes. $5 to $6 a box, people. Okay?
That's a ridiculous discount.
Yeah, it's a really good discount. It's a really good price. Call Lab Builder Supplies, 719-722-4181. They've got all your glove needs.
Join the Manny and DrChurch Show group. And we'll send you that information personally if you reach out.
Maybe we'll give some free stuff out if you reach out. I don't even know. We'll see if they're.
You want to give stuff away out on Facebook?
Depends how nice they are.
They'd have to join the group.
If somebody got extra nice and started mentioning stuff, I'd possibly give some stuff away or get our sponsors to help out.
Join the Manny and DrChurch Show group. All you got to do is answer the question: Who shot Tupac?
He's still alive.
We just got to make sure you're not AI.
I heard he's in Peru with a whole bunch of Bitcoin just chilling out.
Hanging out. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, him and Pun, they're just chilling these days,
Well, connect socially with us through social media.
On Instagram, Facebook, all of it. This show is also brought to you by Warp Zone Gaming. Old school video games in the back.
Retro. Old school classic consoles.
Not only that, he's got cassette tapes, y'all. He's got a boombox. He'll tickle your ear holes in the back of the speakeasy too, not just on these beautiful airwaves that we're on.
Let's make a mixtape, y'all.
That's it. Manny's ready to spit that hot fire on the press record and play button at the same time on the cassette tape. You remember that?
I won't be spitting no hot fire.
You have to press play and record together. Yeah, you will.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you have to hit the play and the record at the same time.
It's so real. It's so real.
These kids today, they don't know what it's like. The struggle of, well, my kids do.
I mean, they actually don't though. Most kids, you show them a cassette player and they're like,
"What do I do?
What does it do? I don't get it."
I use VHS for my youngest because they're durable. They're durable. I'm not giving her DVDs. She's not scratching them. I'm like, okay, go watch Indian in the Cupboard.
Here.
Yeah.
1995. Enjoy. You'll love it. Jumanji 96.
Learn how to play with your toys because this is what we did.
This is how it used to go. They used to say, get outside, enjoy yourself. That's real life. The Daily Dose is coming up next. It's a real show. It's about weed. I love weed, Manny.
You ever just feel like your phone's listening to you all the time?
Oh, because it is.
Bro, dude, it did. My phone just picked up somehow the Indian in the Cupboard, and it was just giving me... God, I hate technology sometimes. It was.
Creepy.
No joke. Look at that. It just pulled up the bio for the Indian in the cupboard. It was starting to speak to me.
Oh, no. Oh, that's creepy.
That's awesome. Thanks, phone.
Thank you, Google. So Google's going to own the world.
Google is listening.
All of you growing up, stay friends with those techie people because, yes, they are spying you and watching you change. They're watching you and all that weird stuff you're doing on your phone to where, yeah, you're probably looking at that selfie camera every time you're looking down with that weird sweaty
You're
face.
going to give people a complex. You're going to give people a complex.
Why are you heavy breathing in there?
Colorado Springs, this is the Manny and DrChurch show.
Don't strain.
We'll be back tomorrow with the darkness.
Such a good show.
It's going to be a good one.
It's the Manny and DrChurch show, y'all. We'll be back tomorrow.
Keep it locked. It's blazing.